All right, looks like I got everybody today. Let's do another one. Linda, getting quite an online crowd today here. We're up to 5.
Cold.
Hey, that's good. I won't fat finger this one and touch the wrong class. I kind of wish Zoom would have it set up to where if I tried to start a meeting that wasn't scheduled until 6:00 p.m. that it wouldn't let me start it until like quarter till or at least a half hour before, but now I know. All right. Well, welcome to Chair Yoga. And just sit up nice and tall in your chair. Just stack your spine as much as you can. Let your shoulders just feel like they're falling away from your ears. And your hands just rest softly on your legs, either palms down or palms up, whatever takes the least effort to keep your hands in place. And just close your eyes, and we're just going to start with some deep breathing today. All the way into the belly. Let the belly expand and contract as you exhale. Breathing in and out. Creating that space inside, releasing the tension as you exhale. And as you're breathing, just shift your awareness around throughout your body and notice if there's any place where you're feeling tension. Are you clenching your jaw, tensing your neck muscles, tensing your throat muscles? And just try to imagine that you've got a calm center right at your heart. And every time you breathe in, you basically imagine that calm center just glowing and starting to radiate calmness out to those places where you're carrying that tension. Just as easily as we can let tension and anxiety take over, we can make a conscious effort to let calmness spread and take over. Unfortunately, it takes a little more effort to shift toward calmness. Anxiety tends to be a default for many of us. Let's take one more full deep breath. And then as you exhale, just let your arms just drift down to your sides. Then on that next inhale, go ahead and lift those arms up as you breathe in. And let them come down as you exhale and breathe out. And again, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Let's do that 2 more times. And on this last one, hands will come together overhead and just pull it down and connect the side of your thumbs with your breastbone, that heart center. And again, just breathe in and out. Do that 2 more times. And interlacing the fingers, press the hands away, collarbones and chin try to reach toward each other. So we're dropping our chin, but we're still lifting those collarbones. Stretch everything upward. Squeeze your shoulders towards your ears. And then gently lean to your right side. And then come across. Lean to your left. Back to your right. And to the left. Bring it back to center. And let those hands come down again. And we'll just do a little shake. Just imagine that stress is just like drops of water. You're just shaking that water off your hands. And then we'll bring those hands to our legs. Start to slowly circle the torso. We're just going to really ease into our practice today. And then pause at center and unwind what you wound. And then again, pause. Let's bring those hands back into the heart center. Interlace the fingers. Press through. Stretch up tall. We start the same way, but we're going to move into some twists. So twisting to the right side. Relax that left shoulder and look over that right shoulder behind you. Stay tall through the spine. We're just going to stay here for a few breaths. And we're going to just bring those arms up and over. Twist to your left side. Relax your right shoulder. Look over your left shoulder. And then just come back to the front. Let's pick up a leg. Pick up your left leg. Right leg, sorry. I'm still getting this mirroring thing reprogrammed into my brain. As long as we get one of our legs, we're good. And then reverse that. And just gently let that leg set down. Go to the other side, same thing. 3 or 4 circles, each direction. And come back to center again. And we're just going to reach those arms out. Cross your right arm underneath. So we're going to come into eagle arms first with just the legs squeezing toward each other. Spread those shoulders down from your ears. Drop those elbows a little lower too. And then just hinge out of the hips and gently slide the whole upper body forward. And then let your chin drop down towards your collarbones. So we're stretching our diamond. Base of the skull, middle of the back, shoulder to shoulder. Breathe in and out. Feel that expansion now moving into that upper back. And release. Reach all the way back, squeeze those arms back. Hopefully you have room to do this like a big pair of wings. And then we're gonna re-entwine the arms with the other arm on the bottom. Still just have the legs squeezing towards center, no cross at this point. Spread the shoulders, drop your chin down, and then hinging out of the hips, slide forward, keeping your back itself straight. Just breathe into that space where your shoulders and your upper back and your neck all come together. Check in, make sure that that jaw isn't starting to tighten up again. I just caught myself starting to kind of clench my teeth. It just happens without even thinking about it. Open it up. All right, now we're going to cross that right leg over. Bring the hands into heart center. And now we're going to twist. So connect those thumbs to your breastbone so you're keeping track of where those ribs go. Try to turn to that right side. If you can somehow connect that left elbow to your right knee, do so. Just try to sit as tall on the spine as you can, even though you're twisted. And breathe. So what we're doing is we're creating a physical constriction to our torso. So there's more resistance to inhaling. But the exhale, we're kind of just wringing the breath out as we breathe out. It's just a more active inhalation. Let's do that one more time on the side, one more breath. And then exhale as you unwind. Uncross, we'll switch our top leg. Bring the hands back into heart center again, setting up for that second side. And then on an exhale, always make sure you try to twist as you exhale. Try to connect with that leg as much as you can. And then we're going to breathe into that twisted torso. These twists are thought to help with digestion. Kind of massaging your internal organs. And you're still having to overcome a little bit of resistance just to take a breath in. Just take one more full breath. Exhale as you unwind and release the hands. All right. So we're going to move down into shifting those legs a little bit now. Let's go ahead and come into that chair supported side angle. So I've got my right leg extended, left leg out here, and I'm just going to lead with my thumb and lift that right arm up. And just feel everything extend out of that side of my body, straight up toward the ceiling. And let it come back down. Let's do that again. Inhale, traveling upwards with that inhalation. Now as you're reaching up, you have an option of reaching down the side of your chair. Hang on to it if you can. You could also tuck a block down there. So your arms are going in opposite directions. Bring that hand down. And then this third time, we're going to just keep building a little bit with each repetition here. Reach up, tilt sideways. Start to really root this foot into the floor like you're trying to leave a little footprint on the ground. And this time when we bring that arm down, we're going to take that left arm and reach up. Still really stretching toward the ceiling. We're just going to go back and forth a few times. Make sure that your shoulders stay aligned over your hips. It's easy to have the shoulders start drifting forward. And that actually puts more stress on your spine to be bending sideways at the same time as it's bending forward. It's just very destabilizing. Reach up. Just keep flowing. And again, do this at your own pace. We don't have to look like a, if we were in the room together or in the same space together, we wouldn't have to look like a bunch of synchronized swimmers or anything. We're just all letting our body guide us in this flow. All right, hold this one. Reach for the ceiling one more time. And then bring the other hand up. Both hands reaching up. And then just bring them down. We're going to guide our legs as we shift to the other side. Bend this knee. A little slide of the hips. Left leg reaching out. And again, get that torso nice and tall. First time through, we're just going to take that left hand, stretch it up to the ceiling. And bring it back down. Second time, a little farther. We reach up with that left arm, but bring that right arm down toward the floor. And come back. And we'll do that again. You decide how far down to go. We don't need anybody tipping out of their chair. This is a place where a block would be handy. Again, I know some of you are using chairs other than a folding chair that may not have a place for your hand. All right, so this time we're going to go ahead and bring that right hand up. And it's going straight toward the ceiling. And we just find your own flow here. Lift and stretch. Lift and stretch. And then we'll bring both hands up. And then bring them down. Guide your legs into place. And just turn your right side to the edge of the chair. And we're just going to extend that right leg out. Scooch off enough so that your sit bone has room to slide down off the chair. And I'm putting my thumb on my hip so you can see how it drops down and then lifts. Let it drop down and use your waist to hike it up. And then you can add an upward reach as the hip drops down, and then just sweep that arm down. Big, expansive arm movements today. Keep breathing. So we're going to do that one more time with a little hold. And the hips dropping down. You guys probably can't tell, I'm actually angling my upper body and my arm toward the back of the chair. And then sit up. Bring that hand down and use it to guide this right leg into a kneeling lunge. This is where you may need a block under your leg. You need to keep your hips pretty even here. Reach up with both hands. Stretch up high. And then we're going to interlace the fingers up here. Make a little holder for the back of the head. And just gently push your head backwards into your hands. And at the same time, you're squeezing your fingers against each other and trying to feel like you're pulling your elbows out to the side. So we're engaging that same upper back area that we stretched a few minutes ago. reach up, bring your hands around, and this is kind of a leap of faith here. If you can somehow connect your hands behind your back and lift up, even if they're apart, if you can't quite get them together, as long as you're reaching back and lifting the chest, that is a heart opener. We're opening our heart. Lift those collarbones. If you lift the collarbones, the front of your shoulder girdle, that'll help tip those shoulder blades down the back of your rib cage. All right, release. Let's pick up this right leg. Scoot both of your sit bones into that chair, and we're just going to do a twist toward the back of the chair. Right hand is going to pull, left hand is going to push. Shoulders are going to relax down from your ears. And release. All right, one side down. Gotta get the other side, balance everything out. So turn those legs around. So now it's the left leg. Extend it out. Let that sit bone drop down a little bit. Find that hip and just hitch that hip up. Release it down. A little hip hitch and down. Option of reaching up and then bringing that arm down. So that lifting and lowering of that hip, we're doing it a little slower today than we may have done in other classes, a little more intentional. The speed of our arm movement is driving everything else right now. Let's do that one more time. Really stretch it up tall, and then bring that hand down and use it to guide that left leg into a kneeling lunge. Lift up both hands. Stretch up tall. Interlace the fingers. Bring the hands to the back of the head. Press your head backwards. Engage your muscles around your upper back. And then squeeze those elbows out to the side. So we're engaging, it seems kind of, I think the right word, paradoxical, I guess, or non-instinctive to be tightening these muscles where we're carrying tension, but we're tightening in a different way. This isn't a way we tighten them with tension. We're just engaging these muscles really in the way they're meant to be engaged. And then release that. We're going to bring the hands behind the back. And part of what we're trying to do here, again, we're squeezing those upper back muscles, but think about squeezing the bottom part of the shoulder girdle. We're really good at squeezing and tightening the top, where we pull the shoulders up, but most of us forget how to even fire those muscles that help pull the shoulder girdle down and balance out that upward pull. All right, release that. We're going to use our hand to guide that left leg. Scooch over into the chair. Tall spine, twist. Left hand pulls, right hand pushes. Breathe into that twisted torso. On your next exhale, unwind. Let's bring those legs around. We are going to stand up for a little bit. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to work on a triangle pose today. So step far enough back from your chair that when you, I'll go ahead and come into that flat back here so you can see where your hands end up. and then adjust your feet accordingly. And I like the chair because this is, for me anyway, this is a better position for my wrist than that all the time on the floor. And I think you guys may notice the same thing. So we're just I'm gonna scoot my feet a little closer together and bring my right hand, the one farthest away, into the seat of the chair, and then start to step back and adjust my feet. And this is where you want to end up. If you want to get your feet set up first, that's fine. We're just gonna come in and out of a triangle here, opening that arm up. I'm really rooting through this hip right here. Bring that hand down. And open it up again. And bring it down. I'm still trying to connect with our movement and our breath today. So now we're going to come into a little hold. And another option here is to go into an extended triangle. So to get there, I'm going to reach my arm over the side of my body, touch my shoulder and my thumb. And then if you can do this and want to reach towards your chair, it's going to put a lot more load into your waist. So this may not be a good move for all of you. And then we're just going to come back around. That sets us up to realign with the chair. Pull that front leg back. Get our feet realigned. All right, so we're going to get the other side now. Hand to the center. Get your feet set. Again, some of you may feel like it's easier to get the feet set first and then move the hand. Either one's fine. So I've got my hips turning more to that right side now, away from the camera. I'm just going to open that right arm and find that flow again. You guys can see this from the back side. And bring it down. Moving on the breath. Hold this one. Really keep that spine elongated. You have the option of going into an extended triangle. To do that, you bring your hand in line with your body, bend your elbow, and then reach overhead. It's noticeably more load in the torso. So you've got to be able to protect your back, support your back muscles, support your spine. And then we'll pivot back around, realign with that chair, and then walk the feet back to starting. So we're going to come into a chair-supported forward fold. So you can go as low as you want. If you have something like a block or two to put in your seat, and you can be up a little higher, you can do that, or just keep your back flat. So getting a little bit of an inversion in here. The head's just slightly below the heart. And then we'll come back into that flat back. And we're going to step back into a chair-supported plank. And then from here, we're going to do a little different sequence today. Step your right foot forward. Angle your back foot. Come up into warrior one. And this is a really grounding pose. You can really feel both feet rooting into the ground while you're still reaching upward and extending upward. And then bring those hands back down. Back into that plank. Try to keep your body as straight as possible. And then we'll do warrior one on the other side. So step your left foot forward. If you're pushing into your front foot as you lift your arms, you'll have a little more solid base to to use. Let's bring that back down. We're going to come into plank one more time. And then chair supported dog. So you're just reaching your hips away from your hands. That's what downward dog is. And you can have the same spine stretch if you can't bend over quite as far and you need to keep your head a little higher today. Just use the back of your chair instead. It's really the lengthening of the spine is what we're after, and the stretch through the shoulders. Swap those hands back into the seat. Bring those feet a little closer. Big toes touching. We're going to come into mountain pose and just stand and breathe. So lift your toes, feel all four corners of both feet, your big toe mound, small toe mound, inner and outer heel. As you're lifting your toes, those arches activate, and you start to feel your lower leg muscles activate. And then just think about wrapping your leg muscles around your bones all the way up to your pelvis. And softening the back of your pelvis and gently elevating your pubic bone. And then just reaching your spine right to the top of your head. Try to just look straight ahead. And we're going to lift and lower those arms again as we breathe. If you need to breathe at a different rate and move at a different rate, that's fine. Just connecting the movement with our breath. And on this last breath, bring your hands into heart center, lifting your breastbone into the side of your thumbs. Letting the shoulders slope down and away from your ears. Breathe in and out. Close your eyes and just imagine yourself as a pillar of energy, grounded into the earth, reaching for the sun. Exhale, release those hands on down, and we will come back to our chair. Have a seat again. And hopefully you have a strap today, or just some way to connect your hands. It can really be anything, even a belt, necktie, just something to anchor our arms. So basically engage those arms and get a little tightness in that band. And that, believe it or not, is a stabilizer for the shoulders. Squeeze back. And lower down. And we're just really taking it slow and intentional today. All right, this next time, you have the option of pulling it down behind your head, noticing what you're feeling in your neck, and pressing it up. Slide it down again. So we're not loading up the muscles. It's not like doing a lat pull down, pulling down 30, 40, 50 pounds and loading up the cervical spine with that. This is a different application. So the movement itself isn't a problem. It's how you load those muscles. All right. Now we're going to pull a little harder with the right hand. Try to lean over, get to the point where that left arm point is reaching straight up. And then pull with that left hand. And notice my right arm is going straight up, but my body's not really leaning very far. This is still all focused in the shoulder girdle. Let's do one more to each side. And then we're just going to bring that all the way down and just bend forward, let that, and try to set that gently on the ground. And make your way back up. We're going to go ahead and cross the right leg over the left with the knee out, targeting that hip. So gently press into the inside of your knee and do a few slow ankle circles. And I had 3 different people tell me yesterday about how knotted up their muscles were right in this area. So it's kind of things that stick in my head, and I'm trying to bring that into our practice. All right. Let's uncross. Go to the other side, same thing. A gentle press into that knee. You want to feel the stretch in that hip. Kind of get that stretch going. And then slowly start to circle that ankle 3 or 4 times each way. And take it off. All right. Let's open those legs up. And we're going to just come right down in the middle here. This is another place where, something to support your hands if it's hard to get all the way down to the ground. Find another object. It can really be anything you find in your house right now. It could be a plastic container, as long as it's going to hold. All right, so walk your hands back to your thighs, and as you're coming up, roll your spine. And lift up. And then we're going to lift that left hand up. And again, go to the right side. We just have our legs in a little different position now. And then realign the chest and try to lean toward that right leg. And at the same time, keep that left side open. The left leg wants to follow your body. It wants to fall over and go the same way. And press it up. And we're going to go the other way now. Lean. And then line up. And come back to center. All right, let's bring those legs in. And we'll finish up with a little bit of wrist therapy. Bring your thumbs together. Slowly roll those hands through. And reverse it. Those hands into heart center. Sit nice and tall. And today's reading still is on part of this bigger reading called Anything Can Be Overcome. Self-trust, coupled with a sturdy plan, is the ultimate antidote to adversity's tendency to inspire disillusionment in the human mind. As difficult as the obstacle seems, it is no match for the love of a supportive universe that has been a part of your life since the day of your birth and will be with you forevermore. Try not to be misguided by your fear, as this gives rise to the notion that there are problems without solutions. If you believe in your capabilities and dedicate yourself to the creation of some form of resolution, you will be surprised to discover that paths that you thought were closed to you somehow open. Even if all you do is change your perspective to turn an impediment into an opportunity to grow, you will have found the hope that is an inherent element of all hardship. Namaste. Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Thank you, Jan. That was just perfect.
Hey.